Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another night when we catch up with one of our stars of yesteryear. And as you can see, there on the screen is our defender from that 2016-17 winning season and the season after, the Dutchman, Mr. Jordy Buijs. Good evening to you, Jordy.
Good evening, Dave. Nice to see you. How are you doing?
Yeah, lovely to see you too. You well?
Yes, I'm very well. Enjoying my life in Japan right now. Yeah, life goes on, you know.
You're playing?
Yeah, we just played just one game and then we quit. And now we quit already for 3-4 months. And it's going to delay a little bit more, I think.
Just tell us a little bit about the club that you're playing for.
I played after Sydney for my third club in Japan, Kyoto Sanga. It's a club in the second league, and it's a very interesting club. They had a new stadium from this season, but actually we didn't play official game this season because of the virus. So we're still waiting for our first moment in our beautiful stadium. And yeah, but the club is very nice. This is my first time to play in purple, so this is also interesting.
And it must be now 2 years that you've been playing in Japan. How have you adapted to the lifestyle over there?
Yeah, it's different than other countries. It's different than Holland, different than Australia. The things what we have in common with Australia, for example, is the weather. The weather is good. The people are very nice and kind. And yeah, the culture is very, very, very quiet. And they are very trustful people, like like in Australia, the same.
Just let's go back a little bit to your career back in Holland, because before you joined Sydney FC, you played for some big clubs in the Dutch Eredivisie, and you had a very successful career there. Scored lots of goals, lots of games as well.
Yes, I start with Slikkeveer. This is an amateur team. Then I went to Feyenoord, De Graafschap, NAC Breda, Heerenveen, Roda JC, and then I left to Romania to start my my future outside of Holland.
But you were obviously a big, I know, Feyenoord fan as a child, and what was that like playing for your boyhood team? In fact, I think I remember you telling me you were in the stand the year they won it not too long ago.
Yes, I had always a season ticket of Feyenoord, and so it's a long time. It's still in my blood, and I'm still supporting Feyenoord, of course. And yeah, it's good to think about Feyenoord. And the only thing what is disappointing is that I never played an official game in the competition. And there are some opportunities to get played, but yeah, maybe it was not my time. And hopefully one day I will return in the Feyenoord club. Not as a player. I think this moment is gone already. I need to be realistic as well, but maybe as a staff or as a trainer or a coach. So let's see. Dreaming is always believing, Dave.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. We would love to see it from our perspective as well. But you obviously followed in the footsteps as well of a former Feyenoord player in Pascal Boschart, who we spoke to not long ago on one of these calls. Do you remember much about Pascal? He remembers you, and he told us some good things about you.
Yes, I was 16 when I met him for the first time. I was training with the first team of Feyenoord with Erwin Koeman. And he was there. He had a beautiful left foot. And yeah, of course, I was following it when he played in Sydney FC, because I did my research, of course, as well. And yeah, he was a good player, and he was a midfielder. And then he go to the left back, and in Sydney he was playing centre back, I think. And I think he did very well. He had a beautiful career as well. And maybe we can compare a little bit with each other.
You were definitely both fan favourites over here. Well, we'll get on to that in a second. But obviously, you, as you say, you went through a few more clubs in the Dutch division, and ended up in Romania. At that point, you said there were some problems with player payments, that sort of thing. So how did the whole Sydney FC scenario come about, whereby you ended up coming down under to Australia from Romania?
After Feyenoord, I went to the Graafschap with Hamburger. He took me to the club, and I know Hamburger for a very long time, and he's a very great person and very trustful, and that's why we are talking with each other at that time. And he said, "Please come to my club because we need a centre back, and we need to replace I think Sebastian Ryle at that moment." And
Sebastian got a nasty leg injury, I think, at Central Coast Mariners playing up there, and we just lost Matt Yerman. He'd gone overseas, so we were struggling at the time. And yeah, the call came.
So two centre backs they lost, and he said, "Please help me." And I said, "Okay, no problem, and I will help you out again." So I helped him a lot in the Graafschap, Hamburger, and I helped him in Sydney, but he helped me too. It's both sides. He gave me this opportunity to come to these two beautiful clubs, and I'm very thankful my whole career for him, what he did, and I will never forget, of course.
So you came in. What was your feeling coming in, knowing you were joining the team at the top of the table, and they were looking to break a number of different records? Do you feel any pressure?
First of all, let's say that I didn't play for 3-4 months in Romania because they didn't pay. I said to the coach that time, I said, "I don't gonna play for your team because this is not a supermarket or something. Of course, everybody need to pay." And okay, they didn't, and then I came to Sydney. So I was training for myself. I was fit, but not game fit, and I was not game ready. But I said to coach, "Listen, give me 10 days, and I will be ready for the first game," because my mentality said it's always the strongest point in my life and also in my football career. And I said, "Give me 10 days, and I will be ready for the first competition game, and it doesn't matter which kind of game. And I will promise you that I will play everything till the end." And Coach Arnie trusts me at that time. He said, "Okay, we're gonna do that." And I was training extra, and I played the first game against Melbourne Victory away. So it was not that easy to fit in, but
it's a big game. As you know, the game on Australia Day down at Melbourne is one of the highlights of the calendar here in Australia, and that's a massive game to be a part of. In fact, I remember at the time, if Sydney won that particular game, they would then become favourites, because I think it was practically Sydney and Melbourne Victory 1 and 2 at the time. So that's a big game, especially when you haven't played for 3 months to go into. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, so I feel the pressure, of course, but I always feel the pressure when I go into the field, because the pressure makes you sharp, makes you ready to fight for small things. And it was easy. Look, you're gonna play with players as Ninkovic, Wilkinson, a lot of more players.
Brian Grant, yeah.
Yes, it's easy to fit in, especially the mentality of the boys. They get me good into the group, and it was not difficult. So I said to the boys, "I'm ready." And from the first moment I arrived, I think we trust each other on both sides, and so it's easy for me to fit in.
We won that game 2-1. I think we went behind early on, but then came back. Holosko, and then a fantastic goal from Bernie Abini won the game for us. How did you find the game? Obviously, you were up against a guy playing for Melbourne Victory, who became a little bit of a rival over those 18 months for you.
Yes, especially with Berisha. Yeah, I had an interview after the game, and I said Berisha is nothing special, and I still behind that words because he's nothing special. I play against Suarez, Huntelaar, and some other good strikers. So for me, yeah, it was not that special. And coach came the next day to me because he was reading every paper. He said to me, Buijs, what the f- you are doing and this and this. So he was not happy with me. And I said, what do you mean, coach? He said, yeah, he is not special and this and this. This is your first game. And you cannot say this about the top scorer leader of the whole history of Australia. I said, yeah, but coach, uh, he didn't do anything. He didn't shoot on target. He didn't turn. He touched maybe 5 or 6 balls in the whole game, and he's really nothing special. So sorry for that, but I'm always an honest person, and yeah, from that moment he was not happy with me, but okay, I give him 3 points back. So yeah, so it's nice.
Yeah, it was definitely good to win. I think that that endeared you to the fans a lot more. Your honest sort of opinion, and the fact that you actually stuck a pair of sunglasses on during the celebrations down there at the stadium in Melbourne.
Yes, it was very sunny at that moment, very crowdy. I think the stadium was full, and I thought I'm gonna put these sunglasses on because it's very shining on my eyes. So no, I make some jokes with the fans because when I have a good feeling with my fans, I will give always the best from me. And in every club, yeah, I'm a fighter. In every club, I fight for everything, and I think the fans like that. And also in Sydney, and I like the fans a lot from Sydney. So yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah, you had a very good relationship with the Cove in particular. Did you feel that every time you went out onto the pitch, that friendship and bond and a need to play extra well for the fans?
Yes, I think yes, and yeah, the Cove was always amazing for me, and they sing my name from the first moment. And when I was going to the supermarket, fans came to me and said, "Please win the game, and you are always fighting for us, and thank you for that, and please stay here." And this feeling gives me a grow moment, and yeah, it was a good combination.
Do you remember much else about the rest of that particular season? Obviously, we went on to break all the records, but just the regular season itself, was there any particular games that stood out? I mean, we were actually at the point we were going for a season unbeaten at that one stage until we did finally get defeated. But was there a special feeling for you around the club, around the playing staff and everyone else?
Yeah, the moment when I came in, yeah, Terry Mifflin was picking me up from airport, and from that moment starts everything. And you give so warm feeling about the whole club, Sydney FC, and this I never felt, I think, in my career, to be honest. And it's so warm, and not only the weather, but the people. You know, it's warm, and you can play easily games with it, and it's easy to fit in. And yeah, this was not so difficult.
You obviously fitted in very well with Alex Wilkinson, who's now our captain here at Sydney FC. You're both very different and similar at the same time types of defenders, maybe different characters as well. But how easy was it to slide in alongside him at centre back and the rest of the back four? I mean, we had Zulo, Ryan Grant as well, and Vukovic.
Yeah, like I said, it's easy because when you make mistake, you know somebody will take care of it. And when Wilkinson make mistake, I will take care of it. So we help each other a lot, and I think we don't consider a lot of goals in the team. And Wilkinson was a captain without a band, because Broski was captain, but you had Wilkinson, you had Brillante, you had Ninkovic, you had Losko, you had Bobo. So you had some captains already in the team, and that will make the balance easy.
Did you ever come across Michael Zulo before when he was playing in Utrecht? That just struck me
Yes.
there. You might have played against him. So you knew him a little bit when you first came.
Yes, he didn't play so much in Holland. Don't be angry at me, Zulo, at this moment. But no, in Sydney he was playing everything, and he played everything, and he's a very good side back. And I could always cross to him from the right to the left side. So thanks for that. And and also Ryan Grant and Wilkshire in the last season were amazing on my right side. So like I said, when you make mistakes, you know already somebody gonna take it. And Vukovic in the goal and Redes the last one. So you had a good balance.
Yeah, very good balance. I mean, the rest of that season, we went through a record-breaking season. You will remember, I think, only 3 goals conceded at home all season, which is phenomenal. You actually got your first goal in the semi-final of that season against Perth. Going into that game, a lot of people said the semi-final after the season we'd had was a bit more nervous than the actual final against Melbourne Victory. But 3-0 up, I think, at half-time. That eased any nerves, I think. But you got your first goal. Do you remember much about that?
Yes, of course. I make the rush from the middle yard to the goal. I make a bounce with Broski, and I was so fast, Dave. At this moment, I never seen before in my life. But I make some rush and from maybe 50 meters, and I scored a nice goal. For the team, it was the second goal, so this is the break point for Perth. But at this moment, we need to wait a little bit with celebration because the VAR was coming. I think it was almost the beginning of the VAR.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, and Bobo was blocking somebody for me. I can remember, so I need to wait. Is this goal allowed or not? And but okay, we scored the second goal, and we finished this game very easily.
We did, and then we went on to the final a week later at the same stadium in front of a packed house. The fans were fantastic, the noise was fantastic. How did you feel, again, coming up against Berisha, but also Melbourne Victory, and especially when they took the lead in the first half and we still hadn't equalised coming into the second half? You feel any nerves then?
I think like I said, I think I feel always not nerves, but good tension in your body, because it makes you sharp, makes you not relaxed, not to think easily, and especially against Berisha, you don't want to let him score again. And it was a good game again, and we scored in the tie break, I think. And,
Well, it was midway through the second half. Ryan Grant scored, and I think you had a little bit to do with it. I seem to remember as well. You picked it up on the left-hand side and gave it back to Carney.
Yes, I was a little bit involved, and it was a good moment, and everything came out. And then we feel in the penalty series you feel it. You feel sometimes when you're gonna win this or not. And the last one took Ninkovic, and you know already that Brate gonna score this one for sure. So and then we had 2 or 3 weeks almost very good parties there. So it was nice.
Yeah, good memories indeed. In fact, that was the second trophy of the campaign, because we'd won the Premier's Plate just before that. So that must have been a doubly nice end to the season for you. Did you come across, as most Europeans tend to come across to Australia, thinking that the league title is more important than the grand final? Because obviously it's different here in Australia, with the grand final being the main one.
Yes, it's true. It's in Europe is different. The title is the most important because you play the whole season of it. But in Australia, it's different. The grand final is the most important. It's just 2 games, because normally Sydney FC always be in the first or second place. So you only play 2 games, and yeah, this is more important for the fans. So and also for the clubs, I think. I don't know why, but yeah, when I came there, I need to believe that that was true. So yeah,
That's why
you
the
go into
parties were
it.
so good, I think, isn't it? Because the tension, the relief that you can win the championship and the grand final, just all the
Yes,
relief
the
must
grand
have been.
final was more enjoyment, I think, because Arnie said to us, "There's no time for celebrations," and we did. We we did. I mean, we didn't celebrate. So we are listening to him, or we did our 1%ers, and that's why we are so sharp in the semi and grand final, I think. And after this, yeah, 2-3 weeks party without training, and oh, the Australians can drink a lot of alcohol, Dave, I think.
Certainly can. And then we had to play Liverpool, I think I remember. But anyway, we'll not come to that one. But then you obviously went back to Holland for the off season, and I remember you came back you told me you've been doing a lot of boxing training when you came back for your second season, and you were a lot trimmer, a lot more in shape.
Yes.
You were this was deliberate because you knew you were coming back, yeah.
Yes. Uh, there was a pre-season for 3 months in Australia, so I was aware of it. But I want to come different back to Australia than when I came, and this had to do because of the games I didn't play, and so I said to myself, I'm gonna train. I take 1 or 2 weeks, I take off, and then I'm gonna make some boxing, make some private trainings, and I will be ready from first day. And yeah, it went well. I was very fit, and the whole season I was like usual. So yeah.
And you got some more goals as well. I remember there was one up in Darwin, but I think the one most people will remember in the FFA Cup was against Melbourne City, and you basically scored from a free kick. It was a fantastic free kick, and you did the old celebration with the bow and arrow, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I saw some birds flying there, so maybe they come to the ground, but it was not working. But no, it's maybe difficult for a centre back to think offensive. But I always think that I'm gonna score and that I take the 3 points with me and take the clean sheet. So these 3 things I always take into the pitch. And like I said, it's maybe not a good thought that I think I'm gonna score every game. But yeah, this is inside of me, and that's why I score almost 40 goals already in my career, I think. And yeah, I feel good when I can score for my team.
Did you used to practice the free kicks, because it was a phenomenal free kick?
Yes, of course we try. I tried with Ninkovic, with Adrian, and we're always training. After the training, just a couple balls, and yeah, it makes you sharp. It makes you good.
But obviously, as you mentioned, Adrian came into the team that year. We also had Luke Wilkshire. So there were a couple of changes for that season. Did you see any difference between the teams, the first year and obviously the second year? They were equally dominant Premiership wins, but did you see them as being different sides?
I think what a strong thing is from Sydney FC is that they want to take when somebody leaves, they want to take somebody better, and they always try. And I think this is a good ambition from the club to take good players and maybe better players. And sometimes it's working and sometimes not working, but So there was not a big difference between the two years, I think, and because we had Holosko on the right side and Adrian came in, and you have two beautiful players, Grant or Wilshire, two beautiful players. So it doesn't make a big difference, and the atmosphere in the team is so amazing that players from outside and also like me when I came in fit in easily, and yeah, that's for every player I think easy.
Obviously, we went on to win the Premier's Plate again and the FFA Cup. I don't know if you remember that, but that was another big win at Allianz Stadium for the club. But the first FFA Cup that the club has won in its history. Was that a big moment for you?
Trophies, you always remember, Dave, and you will take it until your grave, I think, and until your funeral is coming, because I took 5 trophies in my career right now, 1 with the Graafschap and 4 with Sydney FC, and this will always be part of your own history, and not only the club history but also your own. And yeah, it's always nice to feel the plate, to feel the silverware, and yeah, it makes people happy, I think, and also me.
It was obviously a bit of a disappointing way that it ended that season, because we lost that semi-final having won the league by 14 points, I think it was. How disappointing was that for you, and to get over it, knowing that we probably should have won the grand final again?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, when you lose, it's always difficult, but to lose after that great year, I don't know how many points we are left at the second. I think 11 or 12 points, and we played the game, and I had so much pain, to be honest, and I couldn't play. But I said to myself, I want to play, so. I said to the coach, "You can trust me like he could trust me in this 1.5 year." And I had so much pain, I couldn't play. And it's not that because we lost because of that, of course not, because I give the best from me. But yeah, sometimes happen things in the game that that it makes it difficult, and we played the game, and I was so emotional after the game because I made my decision that I'm gonna take another step. Yeah. So it was a very emotional roller coaster at the time.
You knew that was your last game for Sydney FC?
Yeah, I make my decision already a little bit earlier. I think nobody knows that because I never talk about that, but I said to the club, listen, I love the club loved me, but when I don't play Champions League, yeah, I need to look further because I need to feel this appreciation from both sides, and this was the thing to make another step in my life, and I want to end Sydney FC so good as possible, and that's why I played also this game, and yeah, we didn't win. That was very sad, but at the end, I had so great time, Dave. In this 1.5 year I was there, and so great memories, and nobody will take this from me.
Yeah, we love looking back at those times, especially having you talk to us this evening about that. Do you ever have any slight regrets about leaving, or you pleased you made that choice?
There's always a time for coming and a time for goes, Dave, and I left with 4 trophies through the front door, and this is amazing because not everybody can say this, that people leave from the front door, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the way I played for Sydney FC. I'm proud to wear this beautiful shirt, and yeah, it was beautiful, Dave.
You still keep in touch with any of the boys at all?
With Ninkovic, Adrian, with Wilkshire, and like Ninkovic still playing in the club, and now already for seven years.
Yes, I think he's getting on. Oh, maybe not quite that, but he will have made 7 years by the time he finishes, having just signed a new contract with us. Yes. But,
yes, and this guy always sign new contracts. This is unbelievable. But Ninkovic is an amazing person and yeah, amazing player, Dave. And you play the ball to him, and you think he's gonna turn to the left, but then he turned to the right, and so he's turning in on maybe 20 centimeters. So he's so smart and so good, and it sounds crazy, but I slept with him before the games. Before the games, my roommate, and and then you speak about football with each other before the game, and you are talking about level. About level talking is not amateur talking. This is really football talking, and it's nice to meet him and to be close with Ninkovic, and I know his family, and we still keep in touch. And this is nice because in football, that is come and goes. So you have a lot of colleagues, and you don't gonna speak a lot of them, but some people you still be in contact with, and Ninkovic is one of them.
Yeah, he is a fantastic person, a great asset to Sydney FC, and we love having him, as we loved having you as well, Jordy. And we also have to thank you as well for offering advice to some other Dutchmen, the likes of Siem de Jong, who came the season later, and Reza, who I think you spoke to about coming to Sydney FC and what it was like, and persuaded them to come. Yeah.
Yes, and Job van der Linden, these three players.
Job. Yeah.
And I think they did quite well. Some of them had some injuries. That was a little bit disappointing for themselves, but also for Sydney FC. But I think these three players did well in their own ability, and they are good players. And it was good to see them in Sydney.
We won the championship again. Reza scored the final penalty, which was fantastic.
Yes. And Siem scored some free kicks I saw also, and Job did a good defensive work. So it's good to hear and good to read.
Well, thank you for that, Jordy. We appreciate your time at Sydney FC. It was fantastic. 18 months and the most successful in the club's history. So that was down in no small part to yourself. We wish you obviously all the best out in Japan for getting back on the park and playing some more football and winning some more trophies, hopefully. And if you're ever back in Sydney, we'd love to have you at our matches and introduce you to those fans who adored you so much.
Yeah, it's good to hear, Dave. And you never know in the future, maybe our paths will cross each other. You never know, not maybe as a player, but maybe as a coach. And I want to say hello to the fans, especially to the Cove, where I have great feelings with. And please don't forget me, because I will never forget you.
Fantastic. Good to speak,
Dave.
Jordy. We'll speak again soon.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.